Ross, I don't even recognize you, you know?
Because I'm so tan.
You're so tan.
Gosh.
Do you think that will make people want to tune into our YouTube channel more?
Look how tan you are.
Yeah.
You're like David Hasselhoff.
And he's
tan.
wearing a shirt with a very offensive slogan on it.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or...
That's messed up in so many different ways.
Yeah. You will not believe. It's going to be on the thumbnail of our YouTube clip.
Just for all the listeners out there who aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to know this. We are doing a giveaway in the coming weeks
Oh, snap.
of hundreds of dollars.
Dozens upon dozens upon dozens, equaling hundreds.
It's hundreds of dollars of coffee gear, home coffee gear, the best home coffee gear. It's going to be a giveaway, and you have to be subscribed to our channel. You have to be subscribed to our channel, and you'll have to comment on the video. So,
Man, I feel like Josh Cappuccino and Colson and Elias. Fun fact, I can't say Elias or Elias right ever. Sorry. They're steaming ahead. I mean, they're kind of top three considerables.
Should we do like a double entry feature? Like if you do this, then you're entered. But if you do this,
like
then you...
through one of those giveaway websites. You ever seen those?
No.
There's like a landing page for the giveaway, and then it's like, follow us on Instagram, plus 5 entries. Follow us on YouTube.
Can you just code that real quick?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have to code it. We would
01101.
use a company to
I don't
do
like doing third party. No, we got to kind of do our
All
own
our
thing.
own.
We need from scratch.
That's true. That's true.
We're kind of
Organic.
So
grassroots, grass fed, grass finished.
on a serious note, that would take away from the YouTube focus that we're trying to lay down, because
That we all agreed upon.
we're putting out some YouTube content.
We really are.
We do that.
I'm just saying, like, what if... Hey, this is what our owners' meetings look like, okay? What if we were like, yeah, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you comment, that's one entry. It's another entry if you comment on our Culture Couch episode.
Oh, but so it's still YouTube
It's
focused.
double YouTube.
I see.
Is that going to be hard to track?
No, Riley will just do it.
Yeah. I got time.
This guy's a freak with numbers. He's an arithmetic.
Like, give me a
13
equation.
plus 13.
26.
Oh
give me
my
something hard. Give me
gosh.
something hard.
Dude.
48 divided by 3.
16.
Oh!
Dude, that's unbelievable. I can't believe you.
664 minus 12 plus 32 divided by 4.
660.
No!
The listeners
Dang.
are going to be so deceived.
I'm having so much fun with you guys right now. I missed you.
Aw.
I missed you.
You were gone for what? One more day than usual?
Too.
You left on a
Like
Thursday.
away from us?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's just one more day than usual.
Because
actually.
usually
Yeah.
you're remote.
But it felt like, you know,
An eternity.
it felt like an eternity, and I think it was exponentially multiplied by the fact that I was far away in distance.
How did wifey handle single momming for the weekend?
For duo.
She did great. Yeah, I mean, she really likes getting out and going and doing things, staying busy whenever I'm out of town.
Yeah, she came over to our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
For our little partay.
So she kind of had something to do almost every day. And even though it's not easy to lug two, you know, an almost 3-year-old and a newborn around in a Toyota Highlander, you know, she just liked getting out.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good.
Can I just go a little off script here for a moment? I know that this is really structured, but
Yeah.
We keep the script like right over here. That's why you always look
The
over there.
teleprompter.
the teleprompter.
Yeah.
I just
Producer over there is
yeah. So I'm gonna go off script for
Thanks,
a minute.
Keith.
That's okay. Thanks, Keith.
Keith, thanks for all you do.
Yeah, man, you're a legend, bro. Keep up with the sound effects. Boom, boom. But
that was your bit in Culture Couch.
Oh, yeah.
I I thought maybe we could do like a little just us moment. Talk about what we're into, a little almost like podcast health check where we just assess where we've been, where we want to go. We've had so many star-studded guests on. I feel like we've really had our heads down. But this is a time for us to, on air, kind of look up, look above the surface, and just take stock.
And almost like talk about like what our schedules are like as business owners.
We can go there.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about how that scales with the company. That's where I wanted to take that later.
Yeah.
But one thing I just wanted to say was, you guys not gonna be able to get the recording of this, but I got kind of mad at Ross earlier this morning.
No way.
Let me tell you why. He brewed up one of our more simple coffees
Yeah, I
called
did.
Miracle. He wanted to taste it, and I err on the more crazy, zany coffees with the fermentation, anaerobic stuff. But I'm drinking this, and gosh darn it, I'm pleased.
It honestly is good, and I would be honest if it wasn't.
Oh, it's great.
Very brownie. Just fudgy,
So brownie.
sweet, cocoa. So on air, I'm sorry that I kind of lost my temper earlier.
Ross,
Yeah.
how did that make you feel?
I think given enough time and money, I'll feel better. Just cash at me. Have Meredith cash at me.
Is Venmo okay?
Yeah, just throw me like, I don't know, like $15.
I love Venmo requesting money for Meredith for money you owe me. I always have fun with it.
Yeah, you want to unpack that for a second? Maybe the fact that I don't have.
Yeah, go a few minutes on that, Big T.
Yeah, so Ethan doesn't have these apps for some reason. Lord knows why.
I don't
Because
even
it
know
doesn't
why.
make any sense that he doesn't. He shops online all the time.
Do you buy online with Venmo or something?
No, I'm just saying like that would be the reservation of like an old person.
Like
It's
any
like I'm not
digital
going to give my credit card to anything unless I'm swiping with my own hand. Like people are like that out there. But you aren't like
smash
that.
like if you're like that out there.
Yet you don't just go create a Cash App and a Venmo.
I can't.
So Ethan owed me money this past weekend, and I just requested Meredith, and I said, "Ethan, owe me money big time,
Ethan in the whole bad.
$35." Yeah,
Ethan pay up or else.
that was fun. That was fun.
Well, so to your point about the owner health check, I mean, was there something specific on your mind? Do you just want to talk about like where we're at right now professionally?
Sure, we've just been doing so much of seeking out others. What about a little us time?
It's time to get
Seek
ours.
ourselves.
What are we enjoying? What's our lives looking like? And it can be as, professional or like I just wanted to talk about the football podcast I like and just shout it out. That was something on my mind.
Yeah, dude, you're gushing. Just spill.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let's hear from you.
Well, something on my mind. I'm just really enjoying this. It's like the number one sports podcast right now. The Kelsey Brothers, New Heights.
You ended up liking it.
Yeah, it's
You
great.
you were a little
Okay, it's
wishy-washy at the
Still
beginning.
not like that gripping, but it's just
It's not as good as this podcast.
No, it's probably, but similarly, they just happen to be way more famous. Just people like
Barely.
listen. Yeah, barely. Just similar to this, people just like listening to real humans talk about their experiences, and so, but they just happen to be millionaire. Like all-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowl football players, but they're two brothers, and we're kind of like brothers, but
like cousins.
but it's great. So if you like sports, I just couldn't recommend it enough. They do such a good job too of like honoring other players and other teams, which I think is nice. It's not very like smack talky, which is cool. But they're both. I like to see how someone could be really honoring, but also extremely competitive and like hardworking and successful in their industry. I feel like specifically in sports, sometimes one would think that you have to be like, I'm the best around, everybody else is trash. But it's kind of like, no, I'm amazing, but I'm going against these guys that I got to give it my all because they're so good too.
Yeah, I was watching the Chiefs and Raiders duke it out last night. Speaking of Travis,
Yeah, bringing Travis back into the equation.
And Josh McDaniels, the head coach of the Raiders, I noticed that, and I actually appreciated that as well. Like in the little BS halftime interviews that they do that are like 5 seconds long, he kind of had that thing about the Chiefs of like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he's just incredible, and we knew that we were really going to have our work cut out for us. So we wanted to, get up, be aggressive early, so that we're not playing from behind. But they're just a really great team, and I was like, cool, man.
You're right.
Like at that point, the Raiders ended up losing, but
Because of that mindset.
the Raiders ended up losing. But at that point, they were up like I think it was 20-7.
Yeah. I know they were up by 17 at some point, which is crazy.
Yeah. And of course, the Chiefs ended up coming back. But
4 touchdowns for Travis.
I know.
Crazy.
He's a beast. But I really admired that that mindset of a mutual respect, but like still having tenacity with, being competitive.
Absolutely.
It's very, very professional.
Very professional. I thought the same thing. Good word for it.
So what else do they talk about on the show?
They just talk about each other's games. I mean, they both have very interesting teams because the Eagles are the only undefeated team, and then the Chiefs are the Chiefs, so they're just crazy.
So they talk about football.
Yeah, they mostly talk about football.
That's cool. I might listen to it.
Yeah, it's not like just chopping it up all the time. They'll get anecdotal for sure from time to time. But yeah, it's mostly just talking about the game, the teams they're playing.
I feel like that's going to get them in trouble at some point.
Well, yeah, I think they talk some scheme, but I think...
I mean, just like someone's going to say something or like imply something about a ref or something, and then they're going to get fined. Which is, I think they'll be able to afford it, but...
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, speaking of, obviously, I imagine they're going to talk about the roughing the passer call on Tom Brady this weekend that lost the Falcons.
Did you watch the Monday night game last night?
Yeah.
Did you see the Chris Jones roughing the passer call?
Was that first half? I only caught the second half.
You would have known.
Oh.
Anyways, there was another terrible roughing the passer call. Chris Jones stripped Derek Carr of the ball. He had the ball in his hands. Possession had changed, and he fell with all of his body weight on Derek Carr. And he got called for roughing the passer. And it was just crazy.
After change of possession.
And it's all just because of Tua, like the Tua hit with the big concussion. And they like went back to the drawing board with roughing the passer. And they got a spanking for, letting that fly.
It's interesting how hard that is, specifically now with the uptick in mobile quarterbacks. Because it's one thing... If everybody was just a pocket passer, you could just like go and wrap them up and just like hold them. Until they blow the whistle.
Might as well just start playing 7-on-7.
I mean, they might have to move to some sort of like if you lay 2 hands on the quarterback and like establish.
So boring.
Think
about the players that can like almost get sacked and then avoid it. Like how fun that is to watch. It's all about us as the viewers,
Yeah, where's the fun?
Yeah.
Well, I think what's maybe positive about that is like as pansy-y as the NFL has got with quarterback protection, I feel like the targeting and defenseless receiver calls have become more normalized.
I'm fine with that. That makes way more sense.
For a second, I feel like maybe 4 years ago, there was a lot of really BS calls with targeting and defenseless receiver and all that stuff. But now, and there was
it
the
seems
whole
like they figured out intention pretty well.
Yeah.
In review.
Yeah, and they've got
the review is the big thing.
Do they not review roughing the passer?
No. I think that would be great. And then there was like the whole helmet to helmet thing, that you can get called for out as a ball carrier. But I just think there's so many awesome clean hits out in the field that aren't on quarterbacks now. And for a second, it was like that was getting called all the time. But now we're in like a really sucky season of roughing the passer calls.
That destroys the Falcons' entire season in one play.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Did we move to third in the division for that? Because the Saints won.
probably.
Anyways, enough about football. I just want to say I was listening to a podcast and I was really enjoying it.
That's awesome. What else is going on in your world?
No. Your turn. One of your turns. What's going on in your world, guys? What are you excited about?
Ross,
Well,
Mr. Cabo or something over here. Am I right?
Cabo, what is that?
Boca Raton, Bora Bora.
I went to Cancun. Okay. It was really fun.
Why'd you go?
I play in a wedding band, a party band, and I got to go to Cancun to play in a wedding.
Aw.
But
How much money did you make? Can you tell us on air?
I still don't know.
Just waiting for the checks to hit.
I never knew the rate, but they covered all of our food and drinks
How could you say no to that?
for the entirety of our time there.
And I guess the airfare.
Yeah, definitely airfare, and they covered everything. I was just,
If you didn't get paid, would you be upset?
I told the owner of the band, I was like, if you didn't pay me for this, I would still be so happy about being able to go. Because we ate and drank so much, like the whole time. But like they were too. So we were like kind of, trying to.
How close were you to the wedding party and like the guests?
So we stayed at the Marriott resort, which is like this awesome resort on the beach. That's where the band stayed, and then the wedding party was at a place called Nizuc.
Was it all inclusive?
like
The Marriott?
No, it wasn't. But if you stay like 4 nights there, then you get a discount on food and beverage. So we put all of our Austin. Maybe he doesn't want his name on the air. Whatever. One of the owners.
Definitely not editing that out.
Okay, whatever. One of the owners of the band was staying over 4 nights, and so he just told us to put everything on his room. But they never figured out that not all of us are staying in that room.
Loopholes.
But yeah, got there Thursday night and then came back Sunday. It was really great. I really love playing in this band because the music's really fun. We cover everything from the Killers to Whitney Houston to Motown to like Camila
Cabello.
She sings
Havana Unana.
We play Havana.
Havana Unana.
Lizzo. It's all just really fun. And
Every song you'd expect at a wedding, huh?
yes.
Jessie J. Any Jessie J on there?
Thankfully, no.
How about Alt J?
Yeah.
Ethan's favorite band.
No.
What about 21 Pilots?
No 21 Pilots. But we play that song. Do you guys know the song? It's like, Mama, we rewrite the stars.
Yes.
No.
I had never heard it until we played it, or until I practiced for it.
From the Greatest Showman?
Showman, yes.
Oh.
It was the last song we played as like an encore in air quotes, and they like shot off fireworks. They had like their own private fireworks show. And they were like big. They were like South Carolina fireworks.
Oh.
Is that an expression?
No, just growing up, it was illegal to buy big fireworks in Georgia. I thought it would hit for you guys, but I guess not.
Hit me.
So, yeah, it was cool. It was just an amazing time.
I'm glad you got to go, man.
Got some good bro time in. Some of my friends are in the band, so that helps. Sorry, I have other friends besides you guys.
Not best friends, though, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how this podcast goes, and I'll let you know.
Rumor has it you wrestled some of your friends.
I did wrestle. Maybe this could be a good reel for the Instagram. I did wrestle my friend Zach, and I beat him, and then he beat me.
I'll make that into a reel that you can put on your personal Instagram.
Can you please do that?
100%.
So wait, on the beach, you're wrestling another man.
Yeah.
Did like a crowd form or is it just like a head turning moment?
Well,
What was the?
there was
spectrum
no
of that?
crowd.
Okay.
Because there was like people. I'm so excited for this reel. There was people in cabanas. Is that where you have like a bed and there's like
Cabana. I've heard it both ways.
Caribous.
so that they were just like laying down enjoying themselves, and then they had these two beautiful men wrestling.
Two Greek gods.
And then there was like a beachside restaurant, with like servers and a bar, and they were all probably watching. I say that because we went to that restaurant later that day, and one of the servers was like, "Hey, I saw you guys wrestling. Like, do you guys like practice? Like, do you wrestle?"
Like, yeah.
Are you
And I
guys
was like,
practicing wrestlers?
Absolutely. And we're like,
Aspiring practicing wrestlers.
I think he like maybe mentioned jujitsu or something. Like, do you do jujitsu? And I was like, no, man, we're just
It just
having
comes
fun.
natural.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got to take out all my pent up anger on Zach, which was good.
Nice. That's amazing.
But anyways, great weekend. The wrestling was probably the highlight.
Of your Cancun trip.
Yes.
You watch any movies on your flights?
Yeah, man. I watched Django Unchained.
No way you finished it, right?
No, I had to. The plane landed as soon as they were like in the best part, like the dining room. Leonardo DiCaprio finds out that Django's wife is one of the.
Where he cuts his hand.
I didn't even get to see that. It was like building up.
You guys
to
know that bit?
Yeah.
That he actually cut his hand?
Yeah,
Dude, what an actor.
Wow.
yeah.
That's funny. That's a good movie.
I know, it's such a great movie.
I heard someone was telling me, Shay's boyfriend, Corey, was telling me that he heard a Christian Bale interview recently where he said that pretty much every movie role he plays is just him being the second to Leonardo DiCaprio, them asking Leo first. Leo says
Wow.
no, and then they ask Christian Bale.
That's
What?
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both pretty like intense, talented actors.
Yeah.
But I would never think of them as like interchangeable like that.
Do you guys think Leo gets through his life without playing Batman?
Yes. He's too old.
I think so.
And no offense, I think he's too small. He's kind of short.
What about Christian Bale?
Is he short too?
They're pretty much the same physique. I think Leo's just fatter.
Hey.
No offense. You know what? Offense, actually.
You know what? Yeah.
That dude's kind of slimy. I mean, he only dates like 20-year-olds, and he's like 50 now.
Yeah,
Dude.
I could talk for hours about that.
Like there are a lot is out right now about how he has never dated someone past 25.
Wow.
I guess me either.
Yeah, same.
By 25, they're done.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to leave my wife at 25, though. I think we're going to stick it out. Speaking of, we had a 5-year wedding celebration, little anniversary party, and I'm so sorry you couldn't be there.
I am too.
But your wife gave a rousing speech, a toast of sorts. I was touched.
What did she say? If it was so good.
Yeah.
The thing that there was something that everyone said, and that different things touched my heart. She said that we were some of the most pure people with the purest heart she knows.
That's true.
And it really was touching.
Brag much.
I know. I was like, awkward. What does this say about everybody else here? You know?
Yeah, they're less pure.
Yeah. I get impure.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I wasn't going to
Yeah,
go there.
I think the theme of the guest was impurity, for sure.
I had a bit that you left before because I was just going to close the toasting time. And I wasn't going to do it anyways, but I just want to tell you now. I was going to be like talking, thinking about it, and just like I was going to turn to Meredith and, say a couple sweet nothings to her and be like, "You're my best friend," and then turn and be like, "Sorry, Riley. I hate that you had to hear it like this."
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Weird. You're kind of 0 for 2
I
on
know.
Ethan lately, aren't you?
I know, man.
What's one?
Baby shower.
Oh, he's a working man.
He's a working man. I get it. These things book out way in advance.
If there's one thing I know about it, it's working on the weekends and missing stuff. So my heart goes out to you.
Yeah, man.
Do you feel it?
It was
Do you
really
see-
hard, just laying on the beach in Cancun.
Wrestling.
And, wrestling. It was
Dude,
like,
I wish I could be wrestling, but I was dancing.
yeah. Well, so you didn't have a reception at your wedding.
Right.
You got TF out of there.
Right. We all got married at 20. We all kind of took that differently. It wasn't that we didn't have the money per se. I think we just chose to not. Well,
How much money did you have at the time?
Well, I always
More than now.
Well, I believe Meredith's father gave us some money for the wedding, and we just didn't use it for the wedding. We just put it in our bank account.
You
So
stayed at the Dewberry.
yeah, we went to a fancy hotel on our honeymoon just for one night. Hello. But yeah, I guess it was like we were doing a ton of events. We were doing a ton of weddings at this point with the Valor cart. And I was just really tired of wedding receptions. I was like, they seemed really boring and like stiff and like mandatory. And I was like, let's just not do it. And our friends were pretty transient at the time. And we talked about this last week, actually, about the cost of really going all in at Valor was losing friends. So there wasn't like this, we want to celebrate with all of these people. So we opted to get married on a Thursday at noon. Ross officiated. And then we just went to Charleston, drove and had a honeymoon. Oh, there it is.
Here's us at your wedding.
Yep. Almost 5 years ago.
Man, we looked great.
Yeah.
I think we all looked a little skinnier.
Oh, for sure. Especially me. I've got an extra 15 probably from that.
Maybe not in a good way, though. I feel like we were too skinny.
We're just filling out.
My
you know?
pants were also really skinny.
Oh, yeah.
There's that,
Anyways.
Anyways.
That looks good. We look good, guys. Good work. So yeah, we've always liked the idea of celebrating marriage at milestones. And so doing it with like a bigger community around us at 5 years just seemed really sweet. And it was. So had an awesome time. Did like a little first dance moment because we didn't have one back then. And ate some good Thai food. Did you like the food?
I did, yeah.
I just felt like from a catering perspective for 70 people,
Easy.
it was some of the best.
I could have had 6 egg rolls.
I know.
I only had one.
That's what's hard is they were complimentary. They know me. All right. And I said, was putting in the order and they're like, hey, we're going to hook you up with some spring rolls.
Spring rolls, my bad.
They only gave us 40, but there's like 70 people. But you can't be like, can I have more free egg or spring rolls? And that's a little bit about
But
that.
there was plenty of other food to go
Oh,
around.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I had my fair share of drunken noodles, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Me
And
too.
I had the basil fried rice for
Yesterday.
lunch and dinner.
You you took it home?
Yeah.
Nice. You guys didn't take down that thing I gave you? I thought it wasn't going to be
It
enough.
was so much.
I just like scooped a bunch in there, but
It was a lot.
yeah, we had some leftover food. So I've been eating a lot of basil fried rice. And that's me. Riley, dude, come on. You haven't opened up.
Well,
What's
I'm
going
just
on,
gonna
new
have to dig
daddy?
Down deep for this one. The football season for me started off sad, disappointing.
From a Georgia Tech and Falcons perspective.
What's
Yeah.
another adjective for it?
Interesting?
Lackluster,
One more.
lacking.
That one doesn't count.
Why?
Because you said lackluster.
Oh, I see. Abhorrent? What does that mean?
I think that would be like really extreme, like repulsive. I think would be.
Well, hell, man, that works for me.
I'm repulsed.
So, especially from the Georgia Tech sense, it's just like we have not incredible,
Amazing.
above average talent on our team.
Abhorrent.
And
we have not abhorrent talent on our team.
now we're just bad. We were bad.
Oops.
We started the season looking I'm saying we.
Hey, own it, man.
started the season looking like they just didn't care. And, you know, it was all came out to be that it was because of the coach and how he just really was terrible.
It's all because of freaking Jeff.
Are there any metrics around that came out? Like, this guy was mean. This guy,
The coach was mean.
he called bad plays.
You guys might make fun of me for this, but I pay a yearly fee for like the Rivals Georgia Tech website to read like all the insider, like, because Rivals, usually their reporters are first to break all news
No way.
because they're like the closest. So like this guy Kelly Quinlan, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He is the Rivals reporter, and so I pay like $20 a year. So I've been like really going through the forums to try to figure out like the dirt on Jeff Collins.
Sure.
And it just seems like he just wasn't a motivator. He's all talk, very like he like in interviews constantly saying me, I. Like there was this quote at the like end of last year, beginning of this year, where he's like, "I've never failed anywhere I've gone. I've only been successful." His first 3 seasons at Tech, he was like 3-9 every single season.
Dang.
Worst head coach in Georgia Tech's history.
Well, define failure.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, what was
That's
his
3
what,
wins.
What was his goal?
But
I've
anyways,
never failed as long as I said if I failed or not.
so start the season by losing to Clemson, Ole Miss, and UCF, and winning against Western Carolina. I think Western Carolina. After the UCF loss was his last game. He got fired. And then our very next game was Pitt. Pitt was ranked. Beat him. Next game after that, Duke. Duke is 4-1, scoring 35 points a game. Beat him.
Wow.
So interim head coach is the O-line coach. Like he's fighting to get the head coaching job at this point.
I feel like interim head coaches always do well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a change of pace thing or what, but he is like, if he gets us to a bowl game, he'll probably have the head coach job.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. He was in both George O'Leary and Nick Saban's coaching pipeline. So he's like a very, like compared to Jeff Collins, who's like I don't even know, like all about marketing and stuff. Brent Key, the interim head coach, is just like he was a Georgia Tech O lineman in college, went into those coaching pipelines, and he's just like gritty. Like in this past game, you could hear him like, you know, everyone has their opinion on this, but you could hear him like cussing at the players, like mad, like yelling at the top of his lungs. And then there's like this thing of him at the end of the game, like running over to the student section, like, let's effing go. Like,
He's trying to get that job.
like, F yeah. Like he's like all hyped up. But it has created, I mean, fan excitement at Georgia Tech is whatever. But there's more excitement around the program now than there has been in the past 3 or 4 years. So that's enough about football.
That's great, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank
Well-
you so much.
The one dagger that most people might not know is that the starting running back last year transferred and is now the starting running back at
Alabama.
right.
Yikes.
And he is a monster. 2 games ago, he had 205 yards rushing
Oh
with
my
2
gosh.
touchdowns. Last week, he had like 150, which...
What a beast.
He like... Because Alabama's offense, people are saying, like, has taken a step back this year. And he is like the weapon. I mean, Bryce Young is still great. Like, he's still very much he's the reigning Heisman winner.
Right.
But
Raining.
Jahmyr Gibbs is really, really making that offense tick right now.
That's the running back's name?
It's a good name.
It's
Jahmyr
a
Gibbs.
great running back name.
But who wouldn't transfer from Georgia Tech to Alabama to be their starting running back as you're getting prepared to go in the first or second round of the draft?
Sure. I know we're the least likely to know the answer to this question, but how do you think that works from a transfer perspective? Do you think you just talk? Do you think recruiters reach out to other college students and like they're like, hey, if you want this, there's a good chance you could get the starting spot over here?
Yeah, I don't know how it works really with like protocols, because I know there's the transfer portal, and once you're in the transfer portal, any coach can reach out to you.
Oh, you have to put yourself in the portal first.
I don't know if they can reach out to you before that.
They probably do,
Other
but
players do. Like that's
like Bryce Young could be like, "Hey, Jameer, come play."
And maybe
with
he
me."
was. Maybe they like came up together or something. I don't know. But I mean, with Jameer Gibbs specifically, he's like a generational talent. I think he knew wherever he went, he was going to be RB1. Like, there's not really anyone better than him in college football right now. So I would love to see him as a Falcon.
Ooh, but he's a sophomore?
No, he's going to go after this year.
Oh.
I guess eligibility wise, he's a sophomore because of the COVID year. But if you play 3 years in college, you can go to the NFL, and he's going to go to the NFL, I would think.
What a weird rule.
Yeah.
Guys, how are we feeling?
Well, we got a question pretty recently about what a coffee shop owner's schedule is like, right?
Yeah.
And
day in the life of
presumably,
ya boys.
Presumably, asked by someone who either runs a cafe or is interested in potentially running a cafe one day. And that's an understandable curiosity, right? Because if you're not working on bar all the time, what the hell are you doing?
Whoa.
You know?
Nothing.
And I get, we'll answer this, but we're a little bit different, maybe, because
Three-headed dragon.
we're a three-headed dragon, and we're not just a coffee shop, we're a coffee company. And we're YouTubers.
We're a people company.
Content creators.
We're mostly just content creators.
Yeah.
Some of the content just happens to be like coffee drinks.
And like swag lords. Goes without saying. But anyways, so we'll just what if we just roll through a typical week and, throw in there all of the atypical things that just happen. I'll go first. We've gone through just different seasons as a business of what is required of us as owners. And there's kind of like two different lenses that I look at my schedule through. One is like if everything is going well and normal, like this is my schedule. And then the other lens is like there's going to be some hands-on dirty work that's required of me that I'm going to do, which I'm happy to do. But it's like a lot of my schedule ends up being just what is going to push the company forward this week. And right now, my Monday is I do all of our packaging and fulfillment. So I got here at 8 a.m. yesterday, Monday. We're recording this on a Tuesday. And I packaged for 9 hours. And that's what I did. That's all I did.
It was a big day, huh?
Yeah, big day.
How fun was it?
Packaging is always fun.
You
always
made an
have fun.
Instagram story.
I did on my personal. I made 2 actually
Yes, you did.
because the boxes were just looking so good and I was so proud of them. And I was like, I must share this with my tremendous Instagram following.
I had that moment with the boxes last week. We added some coffee gear to the top shelf, so I condensed all the boxes, and so there's like 4 of each, all the different colors. And I was like, dang.
Yeah, it looks way better like that when they're not like spaced out and they're just
Right.
like on top of each other.
I had this idea for maybe my personal Instagram, but maybe the Valor Instagram, where you like match up all of the like two different color combinations of our box. So like red and blue would be
Superman.
what was another one? It's like yellow
Black and yellow, Wiz Khalifa. The Wiz Khalifa pack.
the Wiz Khalifa. Kind of like, go through all the different like I feel like pink and green would be like Atlanta. Because I feel like so many Atlanta coffee shops use those colors. And they're great, understandably. And we're one of them. So anyways, so that was just whatever. So I packaged and
Yellow and green, the Packers.
the Packers, yeah. It's a really great idea. I mean, there's a lot of legs on it, and I think it could be.
Oh, and the marketing.
I think it could
the
be really
collabs,
huge for
the
us.
money.
It could be one step closer to us getting that Crate and Barrel sponsorship for Culture Couch.
Yeah, if you want to hear about that, listen to last week's Culture Couch.
So we get here on Tuesday morning, and we immediately start setting up for the podcast. Immediately after the podcast, I'm very hungry, but I push through the hunger and set up for Culture Couch.
And then you eat before Culture Couch.
Yeah. And we film Culture Couch, which is just like a little 15-minute segment about our company culture. And roll through that. And then after that, it's kind of like a free-for-all of like, if I have, because I'm the head of wholesale here at Valor, but another big part of my job is I just work on whatever needs to grow. And so whether that's the cart or answering, info inquiries on our email, or other stuff.
Right.
I'm just catching up basically. Wednesday, if all goes well, is just another office day that I take care of. More emails.
Maybe I'll put a little screenshot of your to-do list in your office up on this episode for people to see here.
That's funny. As funny as that really helps me. Except, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it really just changes. It has a lot of variety. My task list, and I love that. I like to call wholesale partners, chat them up. I like to put together samples for people, which I do all the time. And
maybe 3 times this year.
no, I love that we're not sending out a lot of samples. Also, hit us up if you want samples.
And we will be so happy to send them out.
We're happy to send them, but what I mean by that is for a while we were just like firing from the hip, sending samples to everyone, and we lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
Well, not.
So that's that. And then Thursday we have our owners meeting first thing in the morning. And then there's a lot of just wiggle room in my schedule, boys. I just have all my things I have to do. I'm kind of in a customer oriented job in wholesale. And so a lot of what I do is, shaped around the needs of wholesale customers. And then Friday, I usually try to work from home, but right now I work at the cafe.
Thanks, man. Just a little bit, just for the next few weeks.
And that working at the cafe and packaging at the roastery is because of employee turnover solely. I don't really have, a standing role in that. I just kind of help supervise the roastery team, supervise them. I'm a part of the roastery team.
Yeah. You just happen to have your arms crossed and standing like a few feet away.
Yeah, saying no, wrong,
Do it again.
different.
No.
Try that batch again. Don't do that. Yeah.
Dump it.
Start over.
Yeah, so that's me.
What's one of your favorite parts about your work schedule right now? Like the work that you do?
Well, I do like I love having the hands-on contact. I like working at the cafe. I like packaging. It's just that I live with traffic an hour away from here, without traffic 40 minutes away from here. And so driving here 5 days a week ends up being a lot of time. So that's the only thing I don't love about those things, about packaging and working at the cafe. But I am excited to like start and end my week with hands-on work. Mm-hmm. And kind of like squeeze everything I need to into 3 days. Mm-hmm. Besides that, it's like you just kind of get it done when you can.
You specifically always end up out of the hands-on work and then back into the hands-on work.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting dynamic, but it's such an asset to the company.
Yeah.
Because especially in times, where cash
That's
flow
such a great
is a little worse, or
Right.
we are short at a few bar shifts.
Yeah.
You can step into that. And that's kind of the whole point of your role. And then you always find out some things whenever you're doing it.
Right.
You're like, why are we doing this way? And then you make
Yeah.
suggestions.
Then it's usually my fault because I made them do it that way.
That's such a important lesson to take away. I think if anyone's in ownership is trying to create margin in your schedule for the unforeseen.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like Riley probably have the tightest schedule, but
There's unforeseen every week.
there's a lot of stuff even in your world that just gets thrown your way. And then like my need to do's is a pretty small list. Like I feel like I could just like disappear if everything was running perfectly for like a month and probably no one would notice.
Right.
But just so much chaos.
Well, that's just part of your job. That's part of all of our job descriptions is because things inevitably go wrong. People call out of work or something breaks. Actually, Rachel and I were talking about this the other day. Have you guys seen this movie with Ryan Gosling? He's like a spy and he protects people.
The gray man.
The Gray Man.
He doesn't. It's just in the movie he is protecting someone. He's usually a hitman. He's not like a bodyguard.
Great. So he was protecting this little girl. Like this little girl was home alone, I think, and people were trying to get
Home Alone. Now that's a good movie.
Don't change the subject, Riley. Yeah, she was home alone, and I guess her parents hired Ryan Gosling to
Oh no.
The guy he's
No.
playing.
the guy he's playing. I don't remember what happened. Okay,
When did you watch this?
probably a couple months ago.
Oh, I thought it was like last night.
No, but he was like fighting he was fighting someone off, right? And he was like getting beat up. He was doing the thing that you do when you're a hitman, bodyguard, and
Hitman's Bodyguard, Samuel L. Jackson. Let's go see it. Watch party.
he told the little girl, he was like, "This is just another Tuesday for me," and it's hilarious, right? But when I heard that, I was like,
You cried?
his whole job is just for things to go wrong and to like get beat up.
Right.
And so like when I view my job as that, like just catching things that go wrong and supporting, it's like, it's just another Tuesday. It doesn't mean my day has to be ruined because something unforeseen happened. It's like actually a part of my job to catch the stuff and like protect little girls from people that are trying to kill them.
Right. But it gets really like if he was also trying to file a lot of paperwork and fill out tax forms and then fight off these bad guys, his work capacity might get a little extended. You know, he might get a little more stressed out.
Yeah. I mean, we could really get into the nuance of like what that would look like for him.
Yeah, and then you found $20, right?
And then I found $20.
What?
That's the thing you say at the end of a bad story to make people perk back up. You'd be
I
like,
was
"Oh,
kidding,
cool.
man. It
Oh,
wasn't.
cool.
It wasn't a bad story.
No, I know. I don't really need your approval.
Okay, that's fine.
But
Let's break that down.
yeah. Anyways, you know what I mean? It's just kind of part
know.
of
Yeah.
part of the job.
An understanding of expectation. We are Ryan Reynolds.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds. Gosling.
All right. Would you rather be Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling?
Gosling.
Me too.
He's a better actor.
E3.
But Ryan Reynolds,
Reynolds
is really funny.
is, I guess, in monetary sense, more successful.
He has a gin company.
Yes, he does.
And a soccer team.
What?
And I feel like he owns like a cell phone company too.
Mint Mobile.
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. He's kind of like our generation's Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Is it Ashton Kutcher? Our generation's Ashton Kutcher.
That's been my bit lately. Just like someone who's slightly more well known. You're like, wait, that was like 3 years ago. He's still around. We love you, Ashton.
Hey, he
Thanks.
was just in a movie recently.
Right.
I don't remember what it was called, but I did watch it.
Right.
It wasn't great.
Oh, the Steve Jobs biopic.
No.
What's your schedule look like, Ethan?
You know, it's whatever.
Oh, and then my last thing on my schedule, and this will be kind of similar or different from you, but I work Monday to Friday at Valor, and then I play a gig on the weekend.
Nice. Not 2 anymore.
Not 2 anymore, because
Used to be 2.
that was bad. Even though bags.
Bad for bags.
It was good for bags, bad for everything else. But yeah, that's another part of my work schedule
Nice.
to make extra money.
I'm gonna try to be really transparent here and really think about this. Like, I have like the most fluid schedule because I just cover. I cover on the bar, and so I could be working any day of the week, basically, at any point, and then I just try to get off time around it. Sometimes, like last month, September, I barely got on the bar. We were stocked. Nothing was going wrong. We had a healthy team. Things were humming here.
I just remembered I left some dumplings in my car. I got to go get them.
Thanks for saying
Can you
that.
go ahead and warm them up for us? So I just worked Monday to Friday. Like, thankfully we were doing a lot of like dreaming and developing and communicating about the second cafe. I did a lot of like team care, so meeting with the team. There's something you didn't mention that we did a good bit of last month too, specifically in the last few weeks, which is just like having a cafe presence, just like being available for the team for conversation, culture, uplifting, like developing. So we started trying to push like post shift huddles. So we're calling them debriefs, where we just kind of like talk about the day and talk about what went right, what went wrong, what are we celebrating, what are we lamenting, what are we mourning? Not really. What do we want to get better at? Blah, 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 blah. So it's like just having margin and space to like be in the back room in the office and just like chop it up with the team has been super helpful. But yeah, now I am working on bar like 3 to 5 days a week, and then still trying to like stay on top of communication with the second cafe, trying to we're doing like lease stuff with our current cafe, and always like different people trying to do different things with us. So like, I don't know if you guys even saw, but we're doing that like low gift campaign again. So like companies buy their clients like free stuff from Valor, and they can come in like redeem it, but I have to like be communicating with this other company to get reimbursed for it. There's just stuff like that going on. And then I'm making all of the syrups and like seasonal things here. So like our ghost cider, our activated charcoal sesame paste. So I just finished that before we started. But yeah, every week has been super different because I'm just covering different days. But I'm always trying to be at the podcast, doing Culture Couch after this. I always try to go dump all of our coffee grounds every Wednesday morning and help out at like a local farm. And then Thursday, I'm trying to do the owners meeting. So those are like the 3 anchors of the week. And then I find myself on bar either after those things, those days, or Monday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
It's been really great to have more contact with you guys. You remember that season where like we didn't really have much of an owners meeting, and we didn't have this podcast either. Mm-hmm. And we were just kind of like operating in our roles, as ships in the night. It's been great to not only for our friendship, but just for the company as a whole to to like be in the same room together. And I think during that season we felt that deficiency.
For sure.
So that's been great. It's also interesting to me in this season that we are in a very hands-on, non-scalable place.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it's non-scalable because like we're about to open another cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think about it, it's like, gosh, if I'm covering this much for one cafe, I'm going to be covering double as much for 2 cafes. But in everything we do, we're doing it unto something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, I'm working Friday on bar and I'm working Monday in the roastery, which take up my entire day. That's not necessarily my scalable trajectory. I'm doing that for a season unto hiring someone. Mm-hmm. And that's what like we always want to do. Like when we're pulled into a season of very hands-on or there's nothing wrong with hands-on, but it's like, if that's all we do, then our company will not be great.
Might be great if we were only wanting to stay that size.
Right.
But when it's part of like we said it might be different for other owners. When you have 3 full-time partners, you have to continue to scale until you are sustainable.
Right. But yeah, it's kind of like scary in a sense that we're so hands-on right now because it's about to ramp up even more. Mm-hmm. But I have to remember that like we're doing this unto a better place. Mm-hmm. Everything is like hopefully always towards a better, more scalable, more like mission, vision, values aligned future. Mm-hmm. What about you, Riley? It's your turn. Did you finish?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Did you say that you go to the farm on Wednesdays? Maybe that's why I was getting my dumplings.
Yep. I tied it to work, though. I bring the coffee compost. Oh. I got 8 buckets of coffee loaded up, ready to rock.
How many pounds? You ever thought about it?
It's heavy, dude.
Of coffee grounds.
Let's say 8 buckets. Let's say 50 pounds a bucket. 400 pounds.
Man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so top of the week, I work from home on Monday, and that is bookkeeping day. So usually, I wake up. Suddenly, I'm awake.
Eyes open.
At my alarm going off. And
do you know the sound that your alarm makes?
Yes.
Could you emulate
it? It is a song. It's not like a song. It's not like Stairway to Heaven.
Wake me up before you go.
Yeah.
Don't leave me.
It's like this Apple chime. It's like boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Smash like if you have that as your alarm too.
I can't put my finger on it. That was a bad representation. Sorry, Apple.
That was amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
First thing I do is, I get up. I have some me time. Right. I make my coffee.
Mm-hmm. What time do you usually wake up?
On Mondays and Fridays, I wake up at 6:30. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I wake up at 5:45.
Freak.
So, and then on the weekends, I wake up at 8.
Dude, let's go.
You just gotta have a schedule, you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay. First thing I do whenever I start working is post Culture Couch on Monday morning, and then I plan my week. I try to do that within both of those things within the hour of 9. And then by 10, I try to start bookkeeping. I'm a big believer in, I haven't been doing this for long, I've been doing it for like a month. I'm a big believer in focused work blocks because I just think it makes you more productive. So to shut off your phone completely. Apple now on other devices has these like focus modes. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's like here. And I turn on this work focus. It like changes my phone notifications and everything to where I only get notifications from work related people.
Wow.
So
did we make the cut?
You guys would include work related. Yeah.
Yes.
And then it also like removes all other apps that aren't work related from my home screens.
That's awesome.
Is Instagram work related for you?
I never have Instagram on my home screen regardless,
You have to search for it.
which I'm really fast at searching, so it really doesn't make
Yeah,
a difference. But it's smart to kind of try to keep things like that, infinite scroll things a little further away.
Yeah. I would agree.
It is for me anyways, because I don't have a ton of self-control with that. So Monday, after I'm done with Culture Couch and planning my week, I do bookkeeping. And then a couple of Mondays at least are usually involved with me doing my monthly finance tasks. Some of them take longer than others. Like I have to record some costs every month that I do on like a monthly basis. I have to pay sales tax, and for the roastery, that takes a little longer because I'm dealing with multiple jurisdictions. Whereas the cafe is really quick, P&Ls, cash flow, balance sheets, that kind of stuff.
Break evens.
Yeah, the break evens. And then the parts of my month where I'm not doing that, my Mondays might just include some like catch-all stuff that I am behind on. That's the thing. With unforeseen circumstances, I have a to-do list app, and I'm just constantly dragging to-dos to like a later date, like over and over and over again. And I'm just like, this has been on my to-do list for 4 months, and I still haven't done it because it just gets pushed to the back burner.
Stuff like give Ross $100.
Yeah. That now is in like 2142. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be on the earth.
Who knows where we'll be with science?
The second time you've said that this week. He said that during his speech at his wedding reception.
Oh my gosh.
He was like, Meredith, I look forward to loving you for the next, 300 or so years. Who knows where we'll be with science.
You're trying out some new material.
I said 555 years because we were celebrating our 5-year. I just thought, because if I said, I want to celebrate the next 55 years with you, there's a good shot I'm going to live longer than that. Because we got married at 20. That would just be, I'm 80.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh. Can you plan my life?
this week is a little different from normal, but
Dude, Jude's doctor appointment is really cutting into our drink cost time.
Yeah.
I got it done, dude. I put in work afterwards. Calm down. I'm not going to show this calendar on the page because there's some really private stuff on here.
Oh my gosh.
So then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I always get to the cafe at 7:20 and spend the first until 8 o'clock doing whatever I want to do, which is usually reading, journaling, breakdancing. I might throw in some real estate stuff during that time. And that time has really transformed my life. It makes me feel better.
That's awesome.
So I really like that. I have a really long drive, so it also helps to get started early because I miss traffic.
Right.
So that's why I wake up at 5:45. I usually wake up at 5:45 and then leave by 6:20. Get to the cafe at 7:20.
Breakdance till 8.
Break dance till 8. I get to talk to the staff there because that was something that was lacking. Is one time I went like 3 weeks without stepping foot into the cafe, and that sucked. I didn't like that. It made me feel really out of touch. I feel like not close with the staff. So to get any time there, even small, it feels good.
I think people see it and appreciate it.
Oh. So then 8 a.m. to 8:45, I work on Valor stuff at the cafe, usually small tasks. So like today, I paid a bill and I took a picture at the cafe.
Boom.
And I finished the drink cost that Jude's doctor's appointment cut into.
Good.
I just want you to know.
No, that's good to hear.
But then from that point on Tuesdays, it's all podcast. So I do this podcast. Then I kind of help set up Culture Couch, and then Ross runs with it. And then I edit the podcast and Culture Couch. And then I make thumbnails for YouTube, and I make like reels if we're going to post one of them on Instagram.
Like the one about wrestling.
Yes. And then suddenly my day is over and I go home. Wednesday, same morning routine, quick, except Wednesday morning I always post the podcast, or I try to. Usually it falls to Thursday lately. But Wednesday morning, post the podcast. Come here. We have a cupping at 9 o'clock every Wednesday. Cupping. And then the rest of the day is always, sometimes it's editing the podcast if for some reason it got pushed. And then video, photo, just like media stuff.
Yeah.
And then if I do those things, then I have to edit them. So I try to get all that done as much as possible on Wednesday. And then I'm supposed to clean the bar every Wednesday. And I don't. The bar here at HQ, we have days where we're supposed to tidy up. And I've been bad. I've been a bad boy. And I'm sorry. Sam, Ariel,
I know
Zion,
you're listening.
I'm sorry.
That was good.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Thursday, cafe in the morning, leave at 8:45, come here, owners meeting.
Boom.
It's great. We usually get a lot done. I have that it ends at 12 lately. It's been all over the place. And then the afternoon there, realistically, finishing editing videos or photos, finishing taking photos. And then a lot of times it's just doing the tasks that we talked about in the owners meeting.
Right.
So I kind of try to leave that. Like I have some tasks up here that like I will drop in if I need to. But realistically, I don't. I usually just do things based off of what we talked about. Friday, I'm home again, so I kind of get my day started the same way. Kind of first hour of the day doing catch-up stuff, emails, paying bills, whatever. And then new task for me is I'm going to update the menus every Friday. Very needed. And then I also do the rest of the day is usually, again, catch up from stuff that fell back because of unforeseen circumstances or newsletters or the website upkeep. And that's me. And then, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, I usually don't do anything except watch football.
Go Jackets.
And, well, it's Saturday, but
What'd you say?
Sunday.
Oh.
Are you even
sorry.
listening to me?
No. I was listening.
Saturday, like this past Saturday, I did an open house. So I do some real estate stuff. Usually do some real estate computer work at home.
What's your favorite thing about real estate?
My favorite thing, the band?
Come on, bro.
It's probably the money, right?
I mean,
Honestly,
I don't feel like that's a bad thing to say.
no, of course not.
When it's going well, it's really great money. And
Yeah,
every bit of money I've made from real estate, I've been saving for my house.
Which your house is also real estate.
How about that?
That's such a good point.
How cyclical.
But no, I like negotiating. Negotiating's fun. I like seeing people happy.
Any big smiles?
This past weekend at the open house, this guy walked in and I was like, dude, are you wearing a Rogue Territory jacket?
He
And
was?
It was great.
good for business.
Yeah, I should know everything everyone's wearing. That's an entry.
That's the entry point.
Oh my gosh, is that Talbot's? Gorgeous.
Did you get that from Ann Taylor? Wow. Anyways,
It's so funny the the difference between our three personalities in how our schedules are.
You have like somewhat of a schedule.
I don't really have a schedule.
You
at all.
have a schedule, and then I'm just like, stuff. Just,
whatever other people need.
it just happens. The schedule comes to me.
I'm a believer in that atomic habits mindset. It's like routines and really strict routines, they don't lock you down. They free you up
Wow.
to do what you really want. So like, psychology says that a lot of times people are happier at work when they're actually doing like really, really well than they are at home only resting. And a lot of that is to say, like, you know, whenever you take time during your workday to scroll Instagram or whatever, you feel like it's making you happy because of the dopamine hit, but you look back on it and you're like depressed.
Yeah.
So to be able to schedule, like, you know, I'm going to work here at all costs. I fail at it constantly, just to be clear. But you're like, I'm going to work in this window, and then I'm going to have this window of free time at home.
Right.
It's just like when you can hit those and like that is the expectation, it's so much easier to relax. You got your work done that day, so you don't have to think about your work anymore.
So when you look at my life and my schedule, are you like, that could be...
Dude, it's just a completely different kind of work.
Right.
Like, I mean, you know, you are a lot of times filling in a bar shift and you fulfill your work during that, even though it came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. In my sense, it's like if I don't do something, it just won't get done. Mm-hmm. Like the Instagram, a couple weeks ago, I mean, there was like a couple weeks where we just didn't post anything on Instagram. It was like I was coming back from leave and the podcast and everything else, and it was just like that's the nature of my role.
Right.
It's just like nothing will get pushed forward if I don't just do it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's why I was just kind of probing a little bit, because I was thinking about if you are considering being a cafe owner, if you're considering, or if you're in cafe ownership and you're unhappy, it's probably worth considering, like, what kind of role are you in, and are you able to like stomach it, basically, you know? Mm-hmm. Can you handle this monster task list, but you can be organized and chip away at it? Or can you be willing to be extremely fluid with your time, but like when you're done, you're done? Like, things don't haunt me that much because I'm like, I just worked. Now I'm done. You know, there's some freedom that you're talking about. Of like, yeah, I did the bar shift. I worked 5 shifts this week. I probably have some emails, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, maybe consider that for yourself. Where are you at on that spectrum? And do you need the structure, or are you capable of being in that fluid spot?
Yeah, that's a good word. It's weird. Like, what would it look like if there was only one owner of this company?
Wouldn't be the size. Well, I don't know. It could be the size. You just wouldn't.
You'd hire people to do the work.
Wouldn't you have to hire people to do the work? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just go a lot slower because we couldn't take advantage of people the way that we take advantage of ourselves.
Yeah. So you'd have to have smaller roles or pay people more money than any of us make.
Right.
Yeah. And also think about, like, just back to what the question is. What does a coffee shop owner's schedule look like? Like, how much of our work is a coffee, like if we just had one coffee shop, how much of our work is in that bucket versus like how much of our work is a product of us having a larger company?
Probably wouldn't have a podcast day.
Yeah, probably not.
It'd probably be like a much more easy at-home setup or something that you could just knock out if you were going to choose to do the podcast. Because everybody should start a podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
We need more of those.
Yeah. And, you know, we roast coffee too, obviously. So that's a big part of what we do. Mm-hmm. But I guess like I feel like it would be almost none of my role and then like split between your roles. Because you're like paying taxes and stuff and you're doing bookkeeping, which needs to get done as a coffee shop.
And not anyone. Most people have some amount of social media presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking your role can be fulfilled by so many multiple third-party companies that do it for a living, like marketing companies, bookkeeping companies, social media companies. Like, I feel like these keep popping up because small businesses don't have the bandwidth to take it on themselves, but they can pay $800 a month for someone to organize their books
Yeah.
instead of the owner having to take out 1 to 2 business days.
I might pay $100 a month for someone to organize my books.
We'll
There
get
you go.
there.
Right. So
Maybe after this giveaway,
Yeah.
we'll have enough subscribers to monetize our YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
just understand that one subscription to our YouTube channel equals one step closer for me not having to do bookkeeping for Valor.
dun, 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 dun,
Honestly,
dun, dun, dun,
that's kind of true. Like a little bit.
in a weird way.
Yeah.
Hey, this was awesome, guys. So good to catch up with y'all.
Yeah, I feel really caught up with you all, and I'm really glad to be back in the States.
I finally believe that you guys are actually doing work for this company. So
Well, now that we talked about it, yeah.
I've
I
had
don't
my
know.
doubts.
It doesn't sound
Especially
like I'm
you.
doing. Just never mind. Strike it.
Consider it struck.
I work, all right. I do. Okay, that was a bit for a while. I used to be like, "Hey, I'm out of here, but I'm gonna go work somewhere else. Trust me." So trust me, everybody. Trust me. I'm working.
Are you going to work after this?
Trust me. Yes.
We're doing Culture Couch
whether
after
you
this.
see me or not, yeah. Like something's always churning up here. Like the mental energy it takes for me to like get such good ideas for the cafe.
Yeah.
Gosh, I just have to like go home and watch like football.
Yeah.
To
Have the ideas.
Yeah.
have the ideas.
Like you get paid to think in the shower, you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
So I clock in every morning.
That's why you're on salary. You know?
Dunwoody walkthrough today, huh?
Yep. The little update for everybody, because literally everybody asks, and I always have the same terrible answer. How's it going? Good. Yeah, just stuck in permitting. Like, yeah, but when are you going to be open? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. We don't have the permits yet, so we haven't started construction. And then the GC hasn't given us a timeline because he hasn't gotten the permits yet. So blah 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 blah. But a milestone was reached that the landlord has finished their portion of the construction. So the space is ready for us to start whenever we are ready.
Like we are getting keys today.
It's our space. This is super semantic. I don't know if they're going to give us keys or I saw something about like we have to get it rekeyed.
When are we getting keys?
Ugh.
And I'm like, are you going to give us a key and then we can get the keys, the locks rekeyed? Or are we going to have a locksmith break in and then rekey? Because please don't do that one. That would be really
Yeah.
unfortunate. And they wouldn't do us like that.
No.
They
Of
would
course.
never.
They've been great.
They have. Scott. has been-
Excellent landlord experience so far.
And I got an email from the property manager that we'll actually be talking to regularly, and they seemed awesome. So it's going to be amazing.
I love it.
Watch
great.
out, Dunwoody. Yep, that's super fun.
We do have a goal for ourselves and when we want to be open. Do we want to say that on air, or do you think people will get a little too excited about it?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what that date is.
I responded to you with it on Basecamp yesterday.
Dude, I didn't look at it probably. I was working behind the bar.
I feel like we've said when we want to open.
Well, we have. I'm just saying now from a money standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Was that March?
March the 4th be with you.
March the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Hey, all
That's,
right, guys.
That's kind of when we have to
That's like-
do this.
Or we'll just start asking people to help us pay our rent while we're not making money.
Yeah.
Because we'll have such a podcast. Like,
Actually,
I mean,
don't think the rent starts then. I think the rent abatement period starts then.
right,
but
right.
that's
The point remains.
The point
remains.
How many podcasts? We gotta have. You know how people like are fans of something. You got Trekkies. You got other people that are fans of something. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I'm tracking.
What's a person who is a part of the Valor?
A trail bay.
Valor?
A Trail Bay.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder like where the Trail Bays are going to be at in March. You know, what's that going to look like?
I mean,
Is it embarrassing to say we're going to break into 1 million subscribers?
at least, honestly.
Here's what we got to do.
We're only 999,800. Wait. 999,800 subscribers away.
With how many people that
700 subscribers away.
I swear I've had 100 people, 100 people tell me that they listen to the podcast. So it's just like, am I really like, have I heard from our entire listenership?
No, it's just that people don't subscribe.
Right. So guys, you read the room here. Subscribe.
Time to subscribe. Well, that's going to do it for this episode.
Of coffee? Sometimes.
Dude, I think I'm going to take that bite of you singing the Culture Couch song last week and make it the intro of Culture Couch. Culture Couch, Culture Couch. Dun, 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 dun.
That's funny.
All right, love you.
Love
Bye.
you guys.